Hi there and welcome to Dynamic Insights. Glad you could watch this video. And this being the 4th week of the month, we shall do the book club, the monthly book club. I know we've taken a while since our last book. I hope you've read many others in between. And I hope you're also able to pick up the habit once again if you had lost it. So this particular month, we can read any other book, but I have one that I'm recommending called The Power of Focus. Now, this book is written by really great writers, 3 of them. There's Jack Canfield, there's Mark Victor Hansen, and there's Les Hewitt. So it's written by those 3 gentlemen, and it gives 10 very practical strategies to focus, to learn how to focus. The power of focus. We know that many of us, make the wrong turning because of lack of focus. They say a dream in the beginning can be very clear, but with time it becomes more and more blurry. So how can we keep focus? How can we narrow down to what we want and keep our eyes on what we actually want? So this particular book gives, as I said, 10 strategies. Let me whet your appetite. The first strategy is your habits will determine your future. This is not news. It is something we know. So if you have bad habits, definitely they'll lead you to that bad future. I don't want to qualify the word bad future. You put it for yourself, what that means. And how habits really work. So they talk a bit about how habits really work and how to identify bad habits, because sometimes we are not even aware that the habit is bad, or we are not even aware that we have that habit. Other people may even see it. So sometimes getting feedback can create this awareness, but they give you a few more tips on how you can be able to identify bad habits and how you can slowly change the bad habits. Usually, of course, the rule of thumb is replace a bad habit with a good habit, and it's much easier than to get rid of the bad habit. Then at the end of that strategy, you take action. It gives you room for action planning. So this book is almost like a workbook. You can just focus on one strategy at a time, take time to create actions, and before you go to the next strategy. So strategy 2 says that success is not hocus pocus. It's more about focus. And this is not just rhyming words. It is that you need to build on your strengths. So focus on your strengths. Don't just try and error. You see something is happening, you run that way. You hear money is being made on this side, you run that way. You hear people are happy with this, you run that way. No, it is narrowing down to what your strengths are, because nothing great came out of weaknesses. So weaknesses can only be managed. They can't create success for you. So focus on your strengths. What are your natural strengths? What do you do easily and you can do over and over without tiring? Those are the things. And you can get to know your strengths more. There are tools you can use. You can also get feedback. You can also study your history of success and see what strengths you've actually used there. And here also they give you some tips on how to say no. No to yourself and no to others when things are not aligned to your strengths. Then you go to strategy 3, where you have to look at the big picture, the power of clarity. When you're clear about something, then it is much easier to walk towards it. So creating that master plan so that you're really clear about where you want to go. Then strategy 4 is creating that optimum balance. It gives a very good system. It's one of the best systems I've ever used for achieving work-life balance. It's called the Be Alert. The Be Alert. I don't want to spoil by giving you the details of what that stands for, because I really want you to read the book. And as you read, I hope you comment so that others can learn from what you're learning and share ideas with you as well. Then strategy 5 is building excellent relationship, the double spiral, that if you're on a spiral with a negative person, it just keeps making you negative and loops into them getting more negative. So how can you build a strong fortress? How can you surround yourself with people who will help you to win and who will help you can help win? Then you go to strategy 6, the confidence factor. There's so much about confidence. I'm sure with time I'll even do another video on confidence, because it really determines so many decisions that we make. There are some decisions that we just take on because of our lack of confidence, not because they were the better decision. So having a winning attitude, it takes you a long way towards success. Then strategy 7 is the power of asking. Sometimes it's just a question of asking. Even on the road, if you drive, just asking for someone to give you way makes people almost really step hard on their brakes to give you way. But when you push your way, or you stay there, you're waiting until the road clears. And this applies to many other things, yeah? Then strategy 8 is consistent persistence, okay? Here we are talking about the benefits of consistency. Consistency. You take one line and you keep at it and keep at it and keep at it for long. So not to jump from one thing to another. So just thinking about that great power of being consistent and persisting there in something solid and something that is in one direction, let's put it that way. Then strategy 9 is taking decisive action. You know, paralysis due to lack of decision is one of the worst ailments. Decision is also a skill. So if you learn to make little decisions, then you will, when needed, make a bigger decision. So practice by doing that. And here we also talk about money, because decisions around finance are quite critical. And the last strategy they give is living on purpose. Finding your purpose, which is always a journey and which is always reviewable, because we are always work in progress, but just being able to work more with purpose, with the why. And that's another book that we'll look at sometime, hopefully this year. But just starting with that purpose, so that you know you're doing things for a reason. So get this book. The one I'm using is just from the PDF drive, so it's free of charge actually, and it's an easy read. And I like the fact that they have divided it into very clear chapters with a work plan at the end of each, so that you can put into action some of the things you're reading. So do make comments so that we really get engaged in this book club, and pass it on to others. Share this video and let's make the book club really active and grow. So thank you so much for joining us in this video, and I'm here, Irene Kinuthia, really committed to being the cheerleader of your dreams. Dream it, build it, love it. Bye for now.